Well, welcome everyone. We are grateful to have the wonderful lead singer and band leader of Ruby Ate the Fig. Her name is Sharon. I'm going to let her introduce herself here in a minute. Her latest album, Desert Electric, is absolutely wonderful. Came out on September 22nd and just it brought back all those memories of Kashmir and things like that. And I've been those of you that have been watching my shows or listening to me or reading my reviews, I've been dying to hear that Middle Eastern sound of Kashmir, and
Mm.
uh, I've even asked bands to please cover that. And finally, we got two bands out there now, Ruby and another one, which I've talked about, that are doing it. And thank goodness, I hope they keep going. But welcome to the Nobleshire for progressive discussion here at Progressive Rock Central. Sharon, you want to say a few words to get started?
Sure. My name is Sharon. It's pronounced
Sharon,
Sharon.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Sharon Eliashar, and I'm the founder of Ruby Ate the Fig, which is a Middle Eastern infused rock band. I was born in Jerusalem, but raised in the deserts of Southern California. So I'm American, and I grew up on American rock and roll, but of course, all the spices and the colors and everything from the Middle East is totally in my background. So when I set out to create music, I'm creating music of who I am.
And it's it's wonderful. It's beautiful and magical. Everything you could possibly say about this. If you haven't heard this album yet, what are you waiting for? You really need to give it a chance. And 2025, I'm telling you, has been an incredible year of music and for me, especially discovery. And I keep thinking um, every year, there's no way anything can match that last year as far as new bands I discovered. But this year has just blown them out of the water, and she's one of the reasons. There's a long group of people I'll talk about when we get to the end of the year awards and all that stuff. But it's just been a fantastic year. And we were just talking about how I found her, and I think I found her on Facebook. She was running some ads, and I'm so absolutely happy that I reached out to her, and more importantly, that she responded. And thank you. I can't thank you enough. It's
Thank
okay.
you. And the review you just wrote was phenomenal and one of the best reviews we've ever had.
Thank
So
you
if
very
you get a
much.
chance to read Professor Mark's review, it's on our Facebook page. It's great, and we've gotten phenomenal feedback from it as well.
Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. Describe how, well, let's start with the name. Ruby ate the fig. Where did you come up with that? It's a great idea. Yeah, absolutely. And I love fig. I actually had fig jelly this morning on my um, English muffin. But where did you come up with the name? How did you guys get started? And go from there.
Well, the name we're keeping a mystery. So
Oh,
everyone asks us where did the name come from, and we're keeping it a mystery. And in fact, when we used to play here in New Mexico, the people would ask where'd you get the name, and I'd say if you come up with whoever comes up with the best story of the name, you'll get a free
oh,
CD. So,
oh.
and at the end of the night, we would have phenomenal stories in our tip jar, you know? So,
Hmm.
I guess I could put that out there as well and just say, come up with a story for the name Ruby Ate the Fig. I mean, we had these huge, long, epic things. So, we're keeping that a mystery. The band started was I was studying composition here, classical composition with a fabulous composer in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and was doing all this stuff. And he said to me, he said, write who you are. If you're
Yeah.
from the farm, write about the farm. If you're from the city, write about the city. And I realized that, yes, I'm from the Middle East, but I grew up in America, so I'm going to do kind of this Middle Eastern rock fusion. And that's when the band started, is when I started writing. I was also studying doumbek, which is the Middle Eastern hourglass drum, with Polly Tapia Ferber, who's in the band here in Santa Fe. And I thought, hey, I'll play doumbek in my band. But then I'm studying with her. I'm like, I'll get her to play that, you know. So she was my teacher, and I learned all these rhythms from her. Totally blew my mind open, and just started writing like crazy. And then formed Ruby Ate the Fig One. You know, there's been two versions of it, and we played around town a bunch, and I just developed.
Talk about that band because she has some really heavy hitters here that have played with some very big
Yeah,
bands
so
and individuals.
Polly, who's my was the first member of my band, and again my teacher, and Polly Tapia Ferber is just a phenomenal Middle Eastern and Balkan player here in the States. And she's toured all over the world, and she's really brought world music to New Mexico. Very important player.
Good.
Um, and then we work with Mark Mann, and Mark Mann's they're all pretty much heavy hitters. Mark Mann, he's on guitar and producing and co-producing. He played Concert for George.
Oh,
So
wow.
he played George Harrison's part. If
Oh,
you see
my God.
the film, that's Mark Mann, the guy with the hat. He's in Ruby. So, yeah, and he's played with ELO and he's produced George Harrison and Eric Clapton and you name it, everybody. He's a
Oingo Boingo and
Boingo
System of
Boingo.
a Down.
He
Yeah.
was in Oingo Boingo. He, did orchestration. His vocal arrangements are phenomenal. I love them. And he does string arrangements for Ruby. And he heard us. And the beauty about Mark was he heard my earlier stuff and Mark helped bring America to me in a big way. So I was still kind of a little folk ethnic. And Mark's like, okay, brought in some pretty big electric guitars, and Mark really locked into my vision. I just wanted a big landscape, kind of like Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
My vision was this Middle Eastern ensemble that was totally jamming, but then you had the rock band that had their arms around him, you
Yeah.
know, and a big landscape like the desert. So Mark Mann was really instrumental in creating the Ruby sound for sure. And then we have Danny Montgomery on drums, who I used to, I dropped out of high school and went to college when I was 16. So I used to sneak into the bars when I was 16 to watch Danny play.
Mm.
And years later, um, I asked him to join the band, and he's played with everybody as well. He's now in
Yeah.
Spain. Um, yeah, Danny Montgomery's played with everybody. And then we have Ali Paris on the qanun. The qanun is a 76 string plucked zither, and he's a
Wow.
total virtuoso. Total, all these players are world class, no question. He's a total virtuoso, and we met through the Middle Eastern scene, and he's completely added and influenced the Ruby sound in a big way. He takes beautiful solos. Some of the orchestration, like on the song The Tent, which is our kind of heaviest rock song, The Tent,
Yeah.
Mark Mann orchestrated Ollie's lines in there. So that was cool. And yeah, and all these guys are just a blast to play with, to perform with. And then we have Kenny Bly on bass, who studied with Jamie Jamerson and also played with everybody. Beautiful bass lines. Um, but Kenny moved away, so now most of the songs are with Kenny Bly on bass, and now we're with Miles J, who's also totally well versed in both genres, Middle Eastern, Balkan, Turkish, and rock. Miles J is on bass as well. So that's kind of the core band. And then we have guest musicians. We have Hassan Minawi on the ney, which is an Arabic flute, Egyptian flute.
Hmm.
We have Ahmad, I forgot his last name. I think it's Rashibi on Arabic violins. He does all the strings, and that's wonderful, and that's a great process because when we first started working with Ahmad, he's like, "I can't contribute to this. This is Western music, you know." And I said, "No, no, no.
Boy.
Just try, just play what you feel." And then we'd pick stuff out and we'd arrange the string parts, and then he would double them and whatever. We also have Raed, who's phenomenal, also Middle Eastern percussion. So Raed's mostly an Arabic player. Polly is mostly Turkish style, and Polly really specializes in all the odd time stuff, whereas most Arabic music is not in odd time. So, but Raed brings us all the color and the flair and the tambourine and all that
Wow.
intensity of Arabic percussion. So he's a guest as well. And then we have Haig Manoukian on the oud in the next second song, Gilgamesh. Unfortunately, Haig passed away in one of his
Wow.
last concerts he did with Ruby. And if you go on our YouTube page, Ruby Ate the Fig, you'll see a Haig playing a solo, oud solo. He was a genius, and he was a total inspiration to me.
Mhm.
Before I even started Ruby, I would listen to Polly and Haig and the final player, Suren. And unfortunately, he passed away. And I wrote the song Caress the Moon
I
on
love that
this
song.
album, which is Kashmiri like.
Yeah.
That song I wrote in honor of Haig and also in honor of my young cousin who unfortunately committed suicide.
Mm.
So, but Caress the Moon is like
I'm
a
sorry.
goodbye song. I love you. So that's Haig Manoukian. And then Suren Baronian. He's 95 and he's still touring the world. And
Mm.
he does a duduk solo. A duduk is a reed instrument from Armenia. He's playing the duduk solo on the song Tremor.
Okay.
And that's next to the last
Yeah.
song. Everyone thinks it's a sax, but it's a duduk. So
Okay.
those are the players. We also have the Sega String Quartet. Rachel Grace is phenomenal. She did some string arrangements for our last song on the album, Flight, and brings in her string quartet. And they did the strings on Tent. Mark Mann orchestrated the tent, and Rachel's quartet played it, and she arranged the strings and orchestrated it on the last song, Flight. So there's been a lot of players, and it's been a lot of work, and it's been very rewarding.
But it's fun. Yeah. It sounds like you're absolutely having fun. Now, you describe your sound as Led Zeppelin and Mahavishnu. I hope I said that right. Traveling through the desert, stopping to have tea with Grace Slick. And yes, you do sound like Grace Slick. And I'm glad you mentioned her because she's one of my favorite singers of all time.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
she's my mom for sure.
Yeah.
Like we actually opened for Jefferson Starship a few years back.
Oh, wow.
And that was a treat. And they all watched us. That was also a treat. We're playing and we look over and the whole band is in the wings just watching us. So that was kind of cool. We
Yeah.
really connected and we'd love to open for them again one day or play with them. So
Oh my God, that would be
yeah,
I'd love to see that show. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I saw him a long time ago, but would love to see him again. Um, but she doesn't, I think the new band, she doesn't sing
Yeah, Kathy
in it.
Richardson is
Yeah,
phenomenal.
she's
She's one
good
of
though.
that
Yeah,
band.
yeah.
Oh, she's phenomenal. She does a great job. Yeah.
So besides, let's say, Jefferson Start, Airplane or Starship or
I'd say
both?
Airplane's
Yeah,
way more
yeah.
influential on my music than Starship. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
then Led Zeppelin. Who else do you think are somebody? Well, who are your favorite bands? If somebody had to ask you, who are your top 10 or whatever, and you don't have to list 10 of them, but
Well, I mean, I have favorite bands, but I don't sound like them. But I love Soundgarden.
oh yeah,
I mean, Chris Cornell. I love Alice in Chains. Um, I love Joni Mitchell,
oh
actually. I
yeah,
don't sound anything like her, but she's the queen in my
yeah,
mind. Her
oh
writing,
definitely.
her lyrics, her music, she's just amazing. So she's a huge influence on me, even though it doesn't come out musically. Um, it's so hard. There's so many great bands that I love. Um,
Have you heard? I mentioned in the review the Tea Party from Canada.
no, I haven't
Oh
heard that.
my God, you got to.
Okay.
And I even put the Alhambra album. I went to a show a long time ago, and Jeff, I think it's Jeff Martin, is the lead singer, and it was all acoustic, all. I don't even think you can do this anymore, but it was completely lit by candles.
Oh, nice.
Which, yeah, the fire marshal's probably going to say you can't do that.
Yeah.
They got away with it, but the
Yeah.
whole place was full of candles.
Yeah.
And he brought out all these instruments and he was introducing them, telling us about them, Middle Eastern and all
Oh,
over the
nice.
world. And then he'd play them, which it was like, this guy is a genius. I mean, I don't know how he could play all those different, but he did. Whereas you are taking people that are perfectionists and know how to play each of these instruments and you bring them into your band.
Yeah.
So either way you do it, thank you for doing it.
Thank you.
And but when you get a chance to listen to the Tea Party from Canada, their
Mhm.
earlier albums, they kind of went heavy metal, which those still sound good. I'm not saying they're bad, but the earlier albums had more of that Middle East influence.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now, will you tour your album? I think we already talked about this a little bit, but tell us about what you're going to do with.
Well, we just released it, as you said, in September, and we're hoping to tour it this spring or summer. So we're just connecting with booking agents and trying to figure that out logistically.
And
So
it's
it
tough, yeah.
it is tough. It is tough.
But
It's tough. But if it's the right opportunity, then we'll take it for sure.
but right now you're just looking at North America, or because
We're
it's
actually,
it's
yeah,
even tougher when you go overseas with all these tariffs and everything that's going.
yeah, yeah, it is tougher. Well, we're looking at North America. We're also looking at the UK as well because we have some connections over there. We've been working with Atomic PR, and
Oh, okay.
they're trying to get us set up over there. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be wonderful.
yeah.
Because I want this music to spread.
Hmm.
Do you have some shows set up yet or not yet? You're real close.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
real close. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Yeah. So
All
yeah.
right. Now, before we get into the album, just a few sort of um, questions about you. What are some of your favorite hobbies when you're not making music? It looks like you're fully consumed with music. When you're not, what do you like to do?
I love to garden, where I write a lot of my music. I love to swim. I love the water. I love to boat. I have a little inflatable kayak that I take with me. So, I work in the studio in California, and I have this vintage camper, a 1966 Avion.
Oh, wow.
And my husband, is an architect, and
Oh,
he totally fixed the inside up. It's just beautiful. It's like a museum piece. So when I work on my music out there, I just live in my camper,
yeah.
right there at the studio. And then during, the weekends off, I hang out on the beach, which is great because I live in the desert. So, and I take my little boat with me and I'll paddle on the Colorado River. I used to be a whitewater rafting guide. So
Oh, wow.
love rivers, I love water, I love the ocean, I love
Who
swimming.
does? Yeah.
I love making pottery, Native American pottery. I'll go collect the earth from my land here and fire it here, and you know, so yeah, there's lots of. It's so interesting that you say that because there's lots of things that I love to do, and I usually don't have time because I'm doing my music.
Yeah.
So if I can incorporate it in there, then that works. But yeah, gardening's a big thing.
What are some of your favorite places to visit, either in California or I think you said you're also in New Mexico?
Well, the whole Southwest is just magnificent. I've done that road trip so many times, Mark, back and forth, working on this album. And I love road trips too. And every time I do it, it's breathtaking.
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times. I'm like, oh, look at those rock formations. Look at this sunset. Look at the fields. Look at the yellow. Look at the blue, So I love I love the Indian Canyons in Palm Springs.
Oh yeah.
Of Death Valley's very profound as well. I love the desert, so and I love the ocean too.
You can luckily here on the West Coast you can have both,
Yes,
which is
exactly,
nice. Yeah.
exactly.
All right. Well, let's talk about the album. It starts with Breathe, and um, the track list that originally came out, I
Mm,
might have got it backwards. So if I do, just go with me.
okay.
And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but the track list is very different, and I've fixed that on the review, but I've already got it
Yeah,
locked in as far as the my
sure.
review, and I'm just kind of jumping off of my review here. But Breathe With Me Slowly is the first one I had. Tell me about that one. This is our first introduction, or was my first introduction, and it does. It sounds like Kashmir, but go ahead. You tell me what you were thinking when you made it.
So breathe with me slowly. Rhythmically, it's a melody, which is doom doom ba boom ba
Yeah.
doom. It's a very common Arabic rhythm, and we have the electric guitars and we have the whole band, punching that out. So musically, it's based on just a very basic Arabic rhythm. And lyrically, when I was in the Sinai Desert, I was goat herding with young women
Oh,
for the
wow.
whole day, which really blew my mind. They
Hmm.
totally blew my mind.
How
Goat.
they do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I had my $100 hiking boots on, and they had these little plastic Cinderella, slippers.
Shoes, slippers. Yeah.
Yeah, with high heels, and they totally kicked my butt. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And I really spent the whole day goat herding with them, and it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I have a few words of Arabic, so we pantomimed a lot. But at the end of the day, we all came up, all the females came up with all their goats. We came up, the other group, there was like 10 different sisters or, families that were herding. And we all came up to the big well in the Sinai Desert to meet the boys. So the brothers and the fathers and the uncles would all meet us in the at the big well
Hmm.
and escort the females home.
Oh.
But what it was, Mark, it really was, we're all standing at the well and everyone's looking at everyone. They don't have high school dances, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is where they met.
First time seeing each
This
other.
is
Yeah.
this is where, and they're like, "Ooh, he's cute," or "Oh, she's beautiful." No, seriously, we're all
Yeah.
hanging at the well, and I'm like, "Oh, I know what's going on here." Everyone's checking everyone out, and then they say, "I want to marry her." I mean, that's how it goes, and
Really? Wow, that fast.
so the lyrics are all alone at last, eyes touching eyes on the grass, like this is what we have, our eyes touching eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that came from that, from just standing around the well and looking at each other. But it's also a song about lovers, finally, all alone at last, eyes touching eyes at, on the grass. In other words, you can make love with just looking at each other.
Looking, yeah,
I mean, that's the beginning or,
definitely.
that is the essence of it to me, at least. So that's what the song's about.
And she does music videos. If you haven't seen any of them, please check those out as well. Well scripted, well designed, well, everything is wonderful about it. What was it like to do that video? Tell us where you did it, and it's a great video.
Well, thank you. So the video, Breathe With Me Slowly, Stephen Redmond directed it, and Alexis Evelyn edited it. She really put the film together in a big way. And we actually went out to Death Valley and did
Oh,
it.
well,
And it was challenging. It was a challenging
yeah.
shoot for sure, only
Ah,
because the roads were horrible and I was in my camper. Other than that, it was a great shoot. And we had an actor, and Stephen just created it and directed me, and then Alexis basically, we got the whole story going. And yeah, and we just won an award, Best Music Video. I think it was the Los Angeles Art
Oh
International.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Thank you
cool.
for mentioning that. I should have done
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
so that's cool. That's really cool to get that award. So yeah, it's a great video because it does capture the essence of the song for sure.
Hmm.
It does. And the video's up for interpretation, which I believe good art is. So I can tell you my interpretation of the video, but
Go
actually
ahead.
I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
I could, but I'd rather you have your interpretation of it.
Yeah, yeah. You want everyone to be able to interpret it the way they,
Yeah, it's just like music, just like,
you don't want to tell anyone how to,
yeah,
yeah,
people just like our name. So people will hear my songs and just come away with something radically different than I ever intended. But to me, it's like, well, that's cool because I believe like we create and then we release into the world, and then it's no longer mine. It's now
yeah.
yours, you know?
Good. All right. Caress the Moon is the second one I had. I know these are going to be out of order for her,
Yeah, yeah. Caress the
but
Moon. Hmm.
go ahead. Yep.
Caress the Moon. So I wrote Caress the Moon for our oud player, like I said earlier, Haig Manoukian, who passed away. And he was a total inspiration to me and just a phenomenal musician and a phenomenal human being. He was just beautiful. And and I also wrote it for around the same time I was writing it for Haig. My young cousin committed suicide, and that was
Mm,
devastating. So it was
sorry.
basically just, how do you say goodbye?
Yeah.
How do you
It's difficult.
deal with
Very
grief?
difficult.
How do you say goodbye? And it was a hard song to write because it's like, well, what do you say?
Yeah.
And I remember I was writing it, and one of the lyrics in there is, compassion, brings release. Your kindness brings me peace. So for me, your kindness brings me peace. That was the essence of the song was I'm feeling really sad. I'm totally grieving. I'm in a lot of pain, but your kindness brings me peace. Who you were as a person was so beautiful. And the
Yeah.
fact that I got to know you and be with you, that brings me peace.
I
So,
love I love that. And I also loved well, drinking tea with roses and wine.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
it took me right back to Tia in the Sahara by the
But
Police. If you've
yeah.
heard that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no. And Heike and I drank tea together all the time.
Yeah.
I'm a total tea drinker all the time. In fact, tea, I think most of my songs have water, sand, tea
Yeah.
in them, in the lyrics. Yeah, so drinking tea with roses and wine, yeah. Haig and I went out and we went searching for tea, and he turned me on to tea with roses.
I think it would be wonderful. I've never
Yeah,
had it, but yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So
it
yeah, so
sounds
Caress the Moon. The other thing about Caress the Moon is um we had produced it a couple years earlier, and this year, I always heard Arabic strings on it. So I called in our Arabic string player from Egypt, Ahmad, and I said, "Hey, what can you do or whatever?" And he just started playing, and and then we came up with the
yeah.
arrangement, and he ended up, recording it. But for me, the Arabic strings on this song is what really makes it Kashmir-like, and what
Yeah.
really puts it in the desert and really goes to my intention of the song. So that's something to be aware of in Caress the
Yeah.
Moon or the Arabic strings for sure.
One more thing I wanted to let's just see. I'm old enough to remember, you may not be. Do you remember Maureen Muldar? Midnight at the Oasis? Maybe not.
No.
It's more pop, but just another great song that not the sound or anything, but just takes you back to that same kind of feeling.
Mhm.
I just wanted to see if you knew who she was,
Mhm.
but anyway, all right. And then Flight opens with drums, bass, Middle Eastern guitars, and you sing, I'm fragile, soft, delicate, opening kind, I'm innocent, I am helpless. Can you hear my heartbeat in time with you? And this is the kind of talk and conversation we so desperately need right now in this, not only in this country, but in the world. I mean, you see fights all the time and people yelling at each other over politics and all. And when
Right.
I heard this, I was like, this is what we need. We need somebody that can just kind of calm
Mm.
everyone's nerves.
Mm.
What did
So
you go ahead?
yeah.
Yeah.
So Flight, the original title of Flight was Etude. I
Oh,
just doing a study. Da 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 dun, da 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 dun, da da dun dun dun. It's very hard to play. It's the time signature is all over the place. It's really hard to play. And it was great recording it because it was so challenging. And Rachel Grace did the string arrangements for it, which I love. But yes, it opens up. I'm fragile, I'm vulnerable, I'm innocent, I'm afraid, I'm crying, and then goes into the bridge and just talks about, finally I'm flying and I'm free and I'm mystifying and all that stuff. So for me, when I wrote it, everyone's going to take away from it whatever they take away from it. When I wrote it, it was the story of a little baby eaglet hatching
oh,
out of an egg.
oh,
So
okay.
the little bird is
Yep,
innocent and helpless, and I can hear my heart beat in time with you, the parent,
yep,
and then just kind of I'm standing and I'm feeling brave, and then I finally fly.
yep,
But of course, it's a metaphor for everything. And you said it
yep,
correctly, Mark. There is a lot of tension right now in the world, and everyone feels it. And it's very sad. And it's almost like in America, I feel like, are we so bored that we have the luxury to hate each other?
yeah, yeah,
It's like, come on, this is a great country. It's like, come on. I said that to someone. I got on the plane and we could tell we were from different political persuasions. And I just
yep.
said, what blows me away is that this is such a great country and we're so bored that we hate each other. We have to fight and hate each
It's
other.
terrible.
And we don't have bombs flying over our head. We're not
No,
waiting in line for food. We're not, getting invaded. It's like, hey. So yes, that's true. And I guess flight, the metaphor is we're all vulnerable.
yeah,
We're all vulnerable. We're all innocent. We've all been hurt. We're all standing. We're all flying. And it doesn't matter how old you are or what your life's been, but we all go through that continuously. We never get there.
yeah.
We're all growing.
No, you're right.
And I think that's beautiful that you picked up on that. Yeah.
Well, and there's two more references I want to throw out there and see if you remember these. The Doors, Apocalypse Now, This Is the End, and
Yeah. I know.
um, there I had some of that feeling to it. And finally, and I don't know if you seem to remember the Doors, obviously. How could anyone miss that? But The English Patient, I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
Did see it. I think I saw it.
And when they fly over the desert,
Mm.
those scenes,
Hmm.
I've never really, I've been to a few deserts, but not like that.
Yeah.
And if you've seen it, you probably dream about those things. I mean, I did after I saw it for the first time. I was like, oh my God. And replayed when I finally got the Blu-ray, replayed those scenes over and over again.
Oh,
Just
nice.
sit, and the music was wonderful too. But you're just sitting there, just going over, I think, the Sahara, and it was just
Yeah.
amazing. And your music kind of took me back there.
Oh, well, thank you. That's a huge compliment. I mean, yes, if my music can take you to the desert, then I succeeded as an artist.
Yeah.
There's no question. I mean, I love the desert. I had an interview like a month or two ago, and he said, "What's so special about the desert? Like, why
Oh,
do you love the desert?" And I was speechless. I just said, I can't explain it. But I go, everyone who loves the desert knows what I mean. You
yep.
know, there's just something about it that is so mystical and so powerful. And
The
um,
peace and tranquility for me.
Yeah,
just
right.
to,
That's simplicity. That's right. That's right. And
it's just
the
so,
open horizon, the
yeah,
open. Oh
it's so,
no,
it's
yeah.
calming. I mean, no, it would not be fun to walk across the desert, but
Yeah.
just that, like I say, if you watch that video from English Patient, it's just calm, relaxing. Even, and I can't remember the actress's name, but she was like, I just want to be able to see this from the air. And anyway, it's just, yeah. Your music kind of took me back there, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
And Gilgamesh is a great song too. And I think, no, I'm not sure if you have a video for that one. Maybe you
I
do.
do.
You
I do.
do. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's down
Yeah,
here.
I love Gilgamesh. I love Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh also is a slower doom doom pakan, goom, tukata.
Yeah.
It's the slower rhythm of Breathe With Me Slowly. It's a melody. I love Gilgamesh. And I wrote that in the Sinai. So
Okay.
that was cool. And the thing about Gilgamesh, which I'll say in our shows, is the chorus is if you want to be inside of you, I'll close the light for you. If you want
Yeah.
to be in secrecy, I'll bless your back to me. If you want to be flying on a camel to the moon, I'll pack your bag for you. Like, hey, whatever you want, I'll be there and support you. But if you want to be in love with me, then follow sacredly.
Yeah. That
And
is, I love that line. Yeah.
when I wrote that and then I started playing it and everything, Mark, I thought it was a song from a person to their lover. Like if you want to be in love with
Sounded
me,
like
follow
that. Yeah.
sacredly. I realized for me, it was a song from the desert to me.
Uh, yeah.
If you want to be in love with me, the desert was telling me this, then follow sacredly.
Yeah.
Or however you want to interpret it.
No, no, that's very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So
We
the
got to
desert
take
really, the
care.
desert is my muse. There's no question. The desert is my muse. I go into the desert, I go into the Sinai, and I'm just there. I'm I'm
You're
in my
home.
source. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
you're home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we need to take care of all of these features of the earth. And like you said, that one guy's like, what good is a desert? No, it has its purpose. It's beautiful in its own way, and everything is. And yeah, no, we got to protect it and keep it um, for people to enjoy like that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then you mentioned, we were talking before we started that you have your own garden. And so in the garden, is that about your inspiration when you're there or just go from there?
The garden on in the garden, that song, it's the rhythm is a chiftatelli. Doom,
Oh, okay.
doom, doom,
Yeah.
doom. It's a different rhythm. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's mystical. And the garden is really the symbolism of like the Garden of Eden.
Yes.
It's not really my garden, even
I
though my
see that.
garden is the Garden of Eden to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the garden is just about um, surrendering to nature, to your love, surrendering to life, surrendering to beauty. Um, that's what it's about. It's a love song.
It's a beautiful love song.
Thank you.
All right. And then the tent, you talked a little bit about it. I think this is the heavier,
Mm.
I don't want to maybe call it metal, or maybe you will call it metal, but it's definitely heavier than anything else on the album. Do you want to talk about that and what is the idea behind it and inspiration?
The tent. So the tent is based on a historical story in the Middle East where there was this really ferocious captain, and he was just a mean guy, and he raped and pillaged and conquered, and they were from the tribe that had bronze, whereas all the other surrounding tribes didn't. They had stones. So the story goes that, he was out there doing his thing, and a bunch of these other tribes in the desert got together and they said, okay, well, we'll attack, we'll circle him or whatever. Um, and he had chariots, this guy. And it rained and they all attacked and the chariots drowned in the mud. And this guy
Mm,
he ran away by foot. And he came to a tent. It's actually a very famous story, and there's been paintings about it and operas and also. And he ran by foot. It's the story of Sisra and Yael. He ran by foot and came to a tent, and there was a woman there.
mm,
And he said, basically, please hide me. And she she said okay, I'll hide you or whatever. And in my song, she says, if you pleasure me, I will let you in. Like,
wow. Okay.
hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
it's my song. I get to I get to make the
You.
story up. So she's just like, hey, okay, yeah, if you want to come into my tent, then yeah, let's go. So they slept together, and she knew he was kind of a bad guy. So they slept together, and then when he was sleeping, she picked up a tent stake and nailed it through his head.
Mm,
And nailed it through his head.
mm.
And then she's actually a heroine right now.
Here. Yeah.
She's,
And
for doing this and everything like that. So, yeah. That's the tent. It is kind of, I don't know if it's heavy metal, it's definitely hard rock.
all
It's
right.
definitely hard rock. So, yeah, that was a very difficult song. I mean, that was an intense song to write and produce. And I'm very proud of it. Yeah.
And then on the next song, when a song starts with the title "They Came with Stones," you
Yeah.
kind of know this is going down a difficult path, a very heavier sound too. But tell us about that one. And we all, if you've read the Bible, you've heard that coming with stones. It was, a very important method of execution back then.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Well, that's interesting. That's true. Actually, the tent is a story from the Bible as well,
from the
Old
Bible.
Testament.
All right.
Yeah. Um, they came with stones. It's not the killing. It's actually a Bedouin story of the Sinai Desert, and they came with stones to trade, to
Oh,
barter
okay.
for the girls. And this is a true story. They came with stones to trade. They came with sheep and stuff. The two men, heads of the household, the son said, I want to marry those two sisters. These two boys wanted to marry these two sisters. So they came and they said, they made a deal, and the father said, okay. And this is a true story. And the Bedouin girls were like, I don't want to do this. We don't want to marry these boys. We'd rather be
Yeah.
dead. So
Mm.
they came with stones, meaning the groom's family came with stones to trade for the
To
girls.
try. Yeah.
So the girls climbed up this mountain, Jebel Banat, the mountain of the daughters, in the Sinai Desert. They climbed it up and they braided their hair together
So you couldn't separate them.
and they jumped.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they died.
Mm,
And that's the story that they just, so. In my song, so it says, we fall with the braid. That's one of the lyrics, we fall with the braid. But in my song, they fly over the mountain and they fall into a flash flood.
mm.
And then they get carried away and they end up in their own garden, living freely and peacefully and
They
happily.
survive. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my great grandmother used to sing these old Ladino songs, which is Spanish Hebrew songs.
Yeah.
And they were pretty depressing, like "Cursed is the family that makes a meal and no one comes." She changed the lyrics. Blessed is the
I
fam
hope.
Blessed is the family who makes a meal and everyone comes.
Yeah.
Now, so she would change the lyrics to Ladino songs. So that's what I'm doing. I did what they came with stones. They jumped off the mountain and they fell into a flash flood and got swept away and lived happily ever after in a garden. So
Excellent.
that's that song. Yeah.
We love a happy ending. Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. Uh, all right. Tremor. Um,
Tremor.
yeah.
Tremor. Tremor. Yeah. Tremor is. Yeah, definitely. You know, you don't, it's like having kids that are your favorites, but Tremor is
Yeah.
definitely one of my favorite songs. It's very mystical. It's inductive, kind of like Flight is. And for me, Tremor is just this energy in the earth, Tremor. And
Yeah.
it's this energy that we live in that's always vibrating. Um, and in Tremor, in the middle is a duduk solo
Okay.
by Suren Baronian, who plays the Armenian duduk, which is a reed instrument.
Yeah.
And then Mark Mann just does a killer guitar solo at the end of Tremor. It's just epic.
I
Just
was going to say it reminded me, and I said it in the review, Achilles' Last Stand from Led Zeppelin, if
mm,
you remember that. A lot of people passed by the Presence album, but it's one of my favorites.
mm,
And that song opens the album. It's just stunning. And
mm.
it sounded, his guitar work sounded a lot like that. And
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, his guitar solo at the end of Tremor is just epic. And he did all the vocal arrangements, just
Yeah.
beautiful. He actually produced that song, Tremor, and we additional production, Rich Mouser and I. But yeah, Tremor is, I used to say, when all my songs die and they'll go up to Tremor.
Okay.
It's that kind
You
of
really
song.
love that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, the order probably was different, but then all along you had all this Middle Eastern, then along comes your story, and it's like the police, and
Yes,
it's
it
like
is totally the police.
can't can't stand losing you. It's going
Yeah,
through my head, and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
oh my God, this is wonderful. I mean, uh, how do you, you know, change or diversify a Middle East album? You do it with reggae and ska, and it was just you knew exactly what to do. It was perfect.
yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, your story, it's very policey, big time. And there's some cool odd time changes in there, which are nice and progressive in that sense. And then, so we did your story, I recorded your story and, stepped back and just looked at it and just went, I really do need to bring it into the desert. So we got Ahmad, again,
Yeah,
Arabic string player. And again, he just came up to the studio. He's like, I can't do this. This is an American rock song. You don't need me. Yes, we need you. We need you. Trust me.
yeah,
And then we just explored and just played and came up with a string part. So that's special about your story as well, that those Arabic strings in there are pretty cool. And then again, Mark Mann does a guitar solo in your story, which is just
yeah.
brilliant, clean, brilliant, chromatic. Um, I love that solo. Yeah. And your story actually is about it's about I wrote it to for my composition teacher who was like killing himself with
Oh my
addiction.
God.
It was about addiction, and we have a video about your story, and it's all about addiction. And
Yeah,
basically, the chorus of your story is, the essence of your story is, my rope is airborne. You would do the same, but you won't take it, and I won't take the blame. So
yeah.
it's about you're watching someone you love kill themselves, and you're doing everything you can, but you're not responsible.
You
That's what
can't,
this,
yeah,
you
you
can't.
can't force them to
They have to
live their,
step through that
yeah,
door, and
yeah.
you can't make them. And that's what that song was about. Was like, and then the
You
chorus.
want to, you
Yeah,
desperately want to, but yeah,
yeah, you can't. And the chorus is, I see you and I love you and I hold you high and I'm here. And that's it. That's
when
all.
you're ready, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So that's what your story is about. Yeah. And it is Police. And Police was one of my all-time favorite bands, hands
yeah.
down. I love Police. Yeah.
Into Your Eyes uh, took me back to the Doors, "L.A. Woman," that kind of beat.
Yeah.
I don't know, you remember that song?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and I love the Doors, but I mean, you did a and not that this you weren't copying the Doors. I never
Right.
say
Right.
that,
Right.
but it has that kind of sound, that beat, and it's just one kind of a bluesy
Yeah.
kind of song with. But go ahead and talk about Into Your
Yeah,
Eye.
it's Into Your Eyes is actually that what you heard is an older version. It's of an excerpt of our live show. And we recorded it and we're finishing the production on it. We're going to put it on our next album. So
Oh,
Into
good.
Your Eyes isn't on Desert Electric, but it's going to be on the new album.
Yeah, I think I
It's a
just
rocky,
watched
it's
it.
like it's like a surf song. I mean, it totally rocks out.
It
Wait till
is.
wait till you hear the new version, Mark. It's obscene.
I can't wait.
It is crazy. It's way more intense than that video. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a total to me, I modeled it after Airplane, actually.
Oh, Jefferson Airplane. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And it's really driving. It's definitely a surf rock song. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about that next album. I understand we had a conversation before this, and she's got a bunch of songs already sort of mostly
Yep.
recorded. Well, go ahead. You tell it. Yeah, I shouldn't be telling it.
Yeah, I'm going out in the next couple of weeks. So I work with Rich Mouser, who's co-produced and done a lot of production on Desert Electric, and phenomenal engineer, great ears, and he really helped shape the sound of Ruby as well. He's a prog guy. A lot of people, he mixes a lot of people, works with a lot of people in Prague, and unfortunately, this January his studio burned down in the fires.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And you lost your tape. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, that an earlier review said the master tapes were lost, and I thought, the mythology of Ruby has started. But no, he grabbed the hard drives, thank God.
Oh, good.
We were supposed to release Desert Electric in January or February, but we were finishing mixing up stuff, so we have to go. So now his studio's back. He's up and
Good.
going, which is great. So in a couple of weeks, I'll go out there and continue working on this second album. Um, yes, so yeah, and they're all songs that I love that we've recorded, and we're going to be recording new songs for it as well. It'll
Do
probably take
you
some time.
do you have a release date, title, and do you
No,
want to talk about any of those songs? Go ahead.
no, not yet. Well, yeah, no. We'll talk about it on our next interview when we
Sure.
record.
Oh, yeah. No, I want to do another
But yeah,
one.
Into Your Eyes is going to be on there. Kind of more dance type soon songs. I have a song called Salome, which is really poppy as well. So they're more poppy. But there's one song that is really rock, really heavy rock. So no, we've got some. I'm really looking forward to it. Desert Electric, it was like, assembling your jewels in a crown, and then what do
Yeah.
you do after that, right? So, but I'm excited. I'm excited about this new album. So
And will that be next year, 2026, you'll release it, or the following year?
I don't see it. I worked so hard on these songs, Mark. I don't see next year release.
Okay.
Maybe 27, yeah.
All right.
Knowing how I work and also Rich's schedule, he's booked up a lot. That's part of the delay. I just don't go out there for 8 months at a time. I go out for 2 weeks and then 2 weeks. You see what I mean?
Sure. Sure.
Um, Part
Um,
of scheduling puts in that delay. So yeah, no, it won't be released for sure. We might release an EP or something. We're going to be releasing singles from this album, Desert Electric, just to promote. And we just did a video shoot for Caress the Moon. And
oh,
that's,
good.
yeah, and that's going to be phenomenal. Alexis Evelyn shot it, directed it, and is editing it. And she and Addison Jones did the whole thing. And I saw some of the footage and it's just beyond epic. I'm so excited about that video. So that's for Caress the Moon. We're going to release Caress the Moon, the single, even though it's on Desert Electric. We're going to release that as a single in January with the video.
Okay.
And we also, Ryan Uliate, who's Tom Petty's producer, and one of the Atmos spatial audio pioneers, he's going to do a mix of Caress the Moon.
Oh, wow.
And it's great because he heard all our songs, and I'm like, which one, could you mix? And he's like, Caress the Moon. He said, that's the most Kashmir-like to him. He
Yeah.
said, Caress the Moon is like, he goes, it's like Kashmir from someone who's from there. And that's what he
Yeah.
said. which was great. He just said, yeah. I said, wow. He said,
Thank you.
we're gonna do a, he's gonna do a spatial audio mix of that with the strings and everything. It'll be phenomenal. So we'll be releasing that end of January coming up.
And you're not working on any solo projects or maybe collaborations with other bands where you sing or you play an instrument. It sounds like you're too busy for that, but
I'm too busy. I'm too busy. I collaborated. I sang on a cut with the Spanish band, a wonderful song a couple years ago. But no, I'm way too busy. I'm way too busy, and I have so many songs and so many more songs to write. So this, yeah. So Ruby Ate the Fig is where all my energy is going.
all right. And again, this is nobody likes to get pinned down. I don't mind it because if you ask me, I can tell you right away. But what's your favorite song of all time? Yeah, everyone goes into that. Uh, and you don't have to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But I always like to ask that question just to see.
Uh, it's so funny. I was gardening the other day, and I was thinking about that. And a song came up, and the funny thing is I can't even remember it. It was
Yeah.
my favorite song of all time. There's a song called Hars Ganuam, which is the Armenian wedding song. The
Mm.
melody is exquisite. That's definitely one of my favorite songs of all time. This Armenian wedding song. Um,
Haven't heard it, but
yeah,
it's wonderful because when I get that from somebody, I'm going to go and look at it. I mean,
yeah,
go and listen to it and just see what it's like because I think it really shows a lot of your personality.
yeah.
Um, in
It's a beautiful song. I'll send you a link to it. And Surem Baronian, who's Armenian, who's on Desert Electric, he does such a phenomenal performance of it. I'll send you a link
Thank
to
you.
their version of it. It's such a beautiful song. It's just so mystical. And then there's a Hebrew prayer, Shalom Aleichem and Yiddi Nefesh, which are also phenomenal melodies for me as well. It's all about the melody. Uh,
Definitely. No, that's
And with
true.
respect to if I even go into rock songs, I can't because there's just too many.
Yeah.
It's just, I, I'll go on tilt.
All
I'll
right.
just explode. So, yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground. Is there anything that, and thank you for taking this much time to talk with me about all this. Is there anything that we missed or anything that you would like to say or go ahead, you got the floor.
Okay. Well, our website is rubyatethefig.com. Ruby with an I,
Yeah,
R-U-B-I.
important to remember.
We have a YouTube channel and we have, Instagram, all that stuff, and Facebook. So please check us out there. Um, yeah, just listening is the biggest gift you can give an artist. So thank you so much for listening and grooving on our music, Mark. We're really grateful. We're grateful for the review. We're grateful for this interview and for your attention and for helping us get our music out there. I'll tell you one thing. My composition teacher told me two things, and the one thing he told me was write who you are. But the other thing he told me, which was really profound, was you got to do your own thing and you got to be original. Otherwise, you should just go be just work somewhere and, for the Santa Fe government and retire with a pension.
Yeah.
And he was really serious. He just said, if you're gonna do art and do, then do your own thing and be original, but not for originality's sake, but just fly and play and do your own thing. So I feel like with Ruby Ate the Fig, with my writing and production and the assembly of the band and stuff, I feel like it is our own thing. So thank you for helping us get us our music out there.
And I'd add to this, and hopefully it follows what you're saying. You have that gift. I can't sing, I can't play any instruments, but you have that gift, and anyone that is probably listening to this or any musicians I've talked to, you guys have this gift. Use it and use it wisely, and you
Yes.
have absolutely.
Mm.
But yeah, keep doing it. We need it. We absolutely need it.
Yes.
Even if you're somebody that just listens to music as background music or never gets into it to this depth,
Yes.
there are people listening to music and need to hear something different. And thank you for all you've done. You've really given me hope that hopefully more, not, I don't want a bunch of copy artists or anything like
Right.
that, but
Right.
hopefully more and more people will listen to your music and say, yeah, there's something missing out there in pop and rock and metal and prog. And they'll say, yeah, we can incorporate some of this. And I really hope so.
Mm. Well, thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for every.
Definitely. Anything else you wanted to add? I hate.
No, I think
Okay.
we're good.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but thank you again very much. Ruby ate the fig, and it you got to listen to at least listen to the album. Once you listen to it, you'll be hooked, like me
Mhm.
and all the other people that have listened to this music. Desert Electric is the album. There's more coming, and she's going to get out on the road. So look for that. And fantastic band. I mean, look at my review and read the bands that these people have played with. I mean, she's doing things at a level that um, you got to appreciate. And thank you again, really.
Thank you, Mark. Really, thank you.
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna pause this.